¿A dónde está papi? 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 ¿A dónde está papi?
Welcome to the Thursday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Thursday. Yella King kicking things off with a tier 1 sub for 30 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. Sharpie Diesel, Cosmic Seeking, welcome. Whew, we are back, folks. We are back, right back to our normal setup. Alio is a 12 biddies. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Alrighty, can everybody hear me okay? Are we good? Hopefully nothing else got messed up. How are we doing, everybody? Are we back to our, Alright, we're golden. Sweet, awesome, cool, thank you so much. Sounds good, alright, so we're good. Whew, that was a little frustrating yesterday, but no worries, we're back. Alright. Just watching Twitter talking about how Biden fell, got right back up. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that was a little... that was a good meme, sorry. Alright, let me make sure we got everything going. But Trump is better on the right wing Elon Twitter. No, Trump isn't really on Twitter, is he? No, I don't think so. Supposedly, he's gonna stay off Twitter for Truth Social. All right, so we have a few articles to go through, that's for sure. Okay. So, yesterday, well, yeah, okay, I guess we should preface the first story. Yesterday, a lot of like right-wing people, including the quarter pounder, the quartering, made similar comments throughout Twitter with regards to Pride. They were basically complaining that veterans only get 1 day versus LGBTQ people get a whole month, without realizing that the whole month of May was Military Appreciation Month. So is November, by the way. Like, these people are so like they're so bigoted and fueled by hate that they couldn't even be bothered to look that up. Also goes to show that they don't actually care about veterans either. They would have known if they did. They would have known that if they did. However, there are some serious implications with all of this. And the reason why I'm going to preface all of that is to go through the first story. Because things like this are happening for real, and it's getting incredibly scary, especially in Florida. So when like the NAACP issued that travel warning, maybe you know, instead of memeing on it, like the right did, they scoffed at it. Immediately afterwards, there was a sign. There was a roadway sign that said, "Unalive all the gays." And now, this came out this weekend. Sign with homophobic slur in Florida, in front of Florida business sparks backlash. The sign said veterans get a day, F slur, and child molesters get a month. In other words, LGBTQ people are predators, continuing that very dangerous trope. Again, the hate completely outweighs literally anything else, because this sign would have never been a thing if this business had five, and of course it's a Trump business. It's right there. So they don't give a shit about veterans because they would know that the whole month of May is Military Appreciation Month. The place is Rick's Repair Shop in Tallahassee, by the way. Cow farts are racist. What the fuck are you on about? Are you okay? Did you wander into the wrong place? Listen, I got the whole fucking Nazi brigade on Twitter. So I'm already ready. Trust me, this is not the place you want to come, okay? You've been warned. The right is wrong because soldiers in armed service give up their health and bodies to serve the country even if people are anti-war. No, the right is wrong because they don't give a shit about veterans. they don't give a shit about veterans. They like my point was that they're so fueled by hatred and bigotry that they couldn't even be bothered um to look up Military Appreciation Month. They would know that it was May. And then they do shit like this. And the whole point of doing this is to highlight or accentuate the chances of violence against LGBTQ people. That's it. That's it. These same people say you should support Israel murdering Palestinians because there's a gay bar in Tel Aviv. Right. Correct. The sign, which appeared to have gone up over Memorial Day weekend outside of Rick's repair shop in Tallahassee, said veterans get a day, F-slur and child molesters get a month. Why? It's all hate-filled opportunism. Yeah, this is 100%. This is only about hatred and bigotry. This is only about hatred and bigotry. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about veterans, by the way. This is just a political tool. Veterans, they actually don't give a shit about people. They don't actually give a shit about veterans. So long as they're useful to their PR or whatever political aims. That's it. That's where they care about veterans. It begins and ends with if they can use them as a political tool. That's it. Because this would have never even been put up if this person actually gave a shit about veterans. Then they would know that there's a whole fucking month for military appreciation, and in fucking November too. And like furthermore, why don't you ask veterans what they how they feel about having a whole month or not? Ask them. Ask them if they want a whole month, okay? Even though they have like the Military Appreciation Month, ask them how they feel about it. The levels of ignorance, I can't process it. Yeah, it's not just ignorance, but it's really just hatred. It's really just hatred and bigotry. That's it. That's it. It's just hatred and bigotry. Jackson Peele, spokesperson for the Florida House Democrats, tweeted a photo of the sign and publicly denounced the message. This kind of bigotry should have no place in our Tallahassee community. Peele wrote, "It's an embarrassment, and the people at Rick's repair shop should be ashamed of their foolish and hurtful and wrong words." True. But unfortunately, there is something to say about Florida Democrats. Because like you can't simultaneously tell me that like, yeah, bigotry has no place and we decry this kind of hatred and it's bullshit to begin with, like all this other stuff, while doing the fucking cha-cha with these fucking assholes. Okay? It's kind of hard it's kind of hard to believe the hold on. This is the Elon, sir. Elon, sir. Elon, sir. Please address this. Address this. Oh man, this is a good meme. Anyways, I'm trying to find the video of what I'm talking about. Dems dancing with Republicans, I guess. Oh yeah, these are the Nazis that were parading for Ron DeSantis, by the way. Where is the video? Holy yikes. Okay. Can we get a video, please? Florida. Okay, what a garbage website. Anyways. Okay. What is this? Ah, no. Okay. So earlier, so last month, Florida Dems were literally doing the fucking cha-cha with Republicans, okay? So excuse me if I don't feel like your words have a lot of weight. You know? But anyways, that's a whole other thing. Oh, there it is. Thank you, the simulacra. Jeez, I was looking for this. Here we are. Thank you. Yes, I whispered the video. Thank you so much. So for copyright, I'm just gonna put the volume very low and talk over it. There we go. So like these people are literally fucking dancing with the Republican Party of Florida. Of fucking Florida. So excuse me if I think that when you talk like this, if I think it's performative. Does that make sense? Like, this is true, by the way. This is what he's saying is correct. But it's kind of hard to trust in terms of like, damn, like, I mean, you're out there fucking like cha-chaing with the fucking Republicans. Like, I don't understand. I'm not, these words are empty, even though they're correct, if that makes sense. The viral post, which was shared on Sunday, has been viewed over 900,000 times and received hundreds of responses. Tyler Clark McClendon, the board chair of Tallahassee Pride, shared Peel's tweet and said the shop should have a hate-filled. The shop chose to have a hate-filled Memorial Day. Yep. Tallahassee City Commissioner Jeremy Matlow also criticized the business, sharing Peel's tweet and writing, "I'm not sure that the sad and miserable place a person must be to take the time to put this up, but I do know the majority of folks in Tallahassee reject this hatred and respect the freedom to be who you are and love who you want and support the LGBTQ rights every month of the year." Yep. The shop owner Rick Hughes is known in the community for sharing controversial messages. What are you talking about? Controversial messages? This is like literally stochastic terrorism. This isn't controversial. This is him just being a piece of shit. This is him just being a hateful piece of shit. That's it. Hughes could not be reached for comment. It made me puke, yeah. Not exactly what you want to see from the opposition party, right? Supposedly. All right, so we have a climate recap. Finally, we get a new climate recap from the Beckosphere, so we'll take a look at that.
Why do congressmen want the COP28 leader to step down? And which country powered itself on just renewables for 9 hours straight? It's time for this week's climate recap.
Nice.
Hit the subscribe button below if you want to stay updated on the climate crisis and clean energy transition.
Oh, I love this. Who did that art? I wonder who did that art. That's pretty cool.
We finally found an egregious enough conflict of interest for world leaders to object. It's not a problem if over 600 fossil fuel representatives attended the annual climate conference, but if one leads it, that's a step too far. Last Tuesday, more than 100 members of Congress and EU Parliament called on the head of this year's climate change conference, COP28, to be removed from his position. This is up from the initial 27 members who objected after the conference's host, the United Arab Emirates, placed the head of the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company to be in charge of COP28.
Yeah, like talk about like the wolves in charge of the hen house, or the fox in charge of the hen house. You're literally having the leader of one of a large like oil an oil baron essentially to lead a conference on the climate crisis that is in large part being fueled by fossil fuels. Yeah. The fox in charge of the hen house.
Its execution. I mean, it makes sense from the country's perspective because the oil tycoon is also the UAE's climate envoy and serves as the...
The guy is also the climate envoy. Amazing. Amazing. The guy, not only is he like not an oil baron, an oil tycoon. Well, I guess it's the same thing, right? Oil tycoon, whatever. Not only is he gonna, or he was initially, I don't know if he's gonna end up doing the COP28, but he was selected to do the COP28, and he is their climate envoy. Amazing.
Ministry of Industry and Technology. Busy man. The American and European politicians sent a letter of concern to U.S. President Biden, European Commission President von der Leyen, and the United Nations. This followed an outcry by climate scientists and activists about Sultan Al Jaber taking the reins at COP27. A spokesperson for the UAE reiterated Jaber's promise to not deviate from the Paris Climate Accord goal of keeping warming well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels to avoid catastrophic climate change. The EU's climate policy chief actually supported Jaber leading the conference, telling the European Parliament, quote, "If we want the energy transition to succeed, we have to get the energy companies on board. Vilifying them and ignoring them is not going to get the dynamics going in terms of the energy transition, and Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber has also a long track record of investing in renewables within his country. Do you think it's reasonable for fossil fuel companies to have such a loud voice at a climate conference?
No.
Where's the line? Let me know your thoughts down below. My 2 cents is that fossil fuel companies have a long track record of claiming to care about transitioning to clean energy and then slashing efforts.
Yeah, but I've done absolutely fuck all. Mono, there's no such thing as climate change, sir. It's all a hallucination. My thoughts may or may not. My thoughts may violate TOS. Well, in a video game, then. Violate TOS, I can ban you. No, Mono's not going to ban you.
Greenwashing themselves. Moreover, they tend to overestimate techno fixes that can keep fossil fuels going for longer, like hydrogen and carbon capture technology, despite both of these technologies being way less proven than clean energy. In the US, the Colorado River states and tribes finally struck a deal to limit their water use for the next 3 years. The Bureau of Reclamation required huge water reduction.
Yeah, so we went over this story. Like, honestly, the way things are going and the way the world is reacting, and I'm talking about like the world leaders, right? Like the states around the world, and more importantly, the states who are most responsible, like us, have really done all but nothing. Very little action when it comes to the climate crisis. So sometimes it makes me feel like I'm the one that's losing my mind. But no, the data doesn't really care. Unfortunately, our leaders have absolutely no interest in being serious about this. Dr. Sultan, that name's fake. That's 2 titles right there. Sultan Mono, there you go.
Reductions after the Colorado River and its main lakes, Lake Mead and Lake Powell, reached critically low levels last summer. California and Arizona are the 2 largest water-using states, and they couldn't stop arguing about who should cut more water. California said Arizona should have more cuts because it was allocated water last when the states were formed. Arizona argued its cuts should be split evenly. It seems like Arizona got its way. The lower river states, California, Arizona, and Nevada, will reduce their water use by about 14% collectively in exchange for $1.2 billion from the Inflation Reduction Act. That money will pay off farmers to stop farming on parts of their lots. Farming operations account for about 80% of the water use in the Southwest. This move is controversial in the farming community because farmers worry that if they show that they can reduce water usage, the federal government might permanently reduce how much water they can have access to in the future.
Boo-hoo.
The water cuts could have been worse, though. Heavy rainstorms and resulting snowpack earlier this year relieved the droughted river and its lakes for a bit. Federal officials have estimated that runoff into the river's reservoirs this year could be 149% of average. The drought is bound to come back, and the money will run out.
Jeez. That's a scary thought. Don't we pretend enough we are serious enough? Exactly. The world leaders are reacting pretty much as expected because their administrations have lived surgically attached to the behinds of big fossil, big agriculture, and big weapons. There are no... Yep. True. There are no adults in the room. These people are morally bankrupt. Have zero emotional intelligence. Sorry to be so harsh. Well, no, it's the reality. It's the reality. It seems like they just are not capable of giving a shit. They're just not capable of seeing the bigger picture, or unwilling to recognize it. That's pretty much where we're at.
The solution is a temporary one. How do you think the Colorado River states can more effectively reduce water usage for the long haul? Let me know your thoughts below, especially if you're in the agriculture community. In a devastating blow to national environmental protections, the conservative Supreme Court sided with the Idaho landowners 5-4 in the Sackett v. EPA case. This decision strips most wetlands in the U.S. of federal protections, allowing businesses and landowners to fill in any wetlands on their property that don't have a relatively permanent surface-level connection to a federal water body. Essentially, the concept of groundwater doesn't exist.
That's bullshit. That's messed up. That's messed up. The priority is the priority of their billionaire masters' short-term quarterly profits, eternal growth, and of legacy systems. Yep. The changes that need to be made are going to be left until it's too late to do them without perceived damage to normal people, at which point they're forced through. You'll get at which point when they're forced through, you'll get massive protests. Right. When we've known this for decades, and we could have probably been in a better position if we wanted to be serious about the problem and start addressing it decades ago. But here we are. Are there really no politicians or government workers who care about the environment? No serious decision makers that are in a position to do the things that need to be done. None of those people give a shit about the environment or give a shit about solving the climate crisis. But to say that like government workers, I don't know. There's plenty of government workers that care about the environment. But if the government, if the administration that makes decisions doesn't, then there are government workers who do. Yep. Though there's a lot of clearing out of departments under Trump. Yep. Desert sat up there staring down at you. Yep. It's right there. It's right there.
It also forced the Biden administration's Environmental Protection Agency to go back to the drawing board for its definition of waters of the U.S., or WOTUS. Wetlands can actually hold more greenhouse gases than forests, so they're a very important ecosystem to maintain a stable climate and keep the planet biodiverse.
Yes, i.e. Florida. That's why the wetlands are incredibly important. But whatever.
The Sackett v. EPA case goes all the way back to the early 2000s when the Sackett couple bought a land to build a home. They began filling in a wetland on their property to develop on it when the federal government stopped them and ordered them to return the property back to the way it was before because the wetland on the property was considered under federal jurisdiction. They instead sued, saying what was considered a federal water body and what wasn't was very confusing. In their case, the wetland was only 300 feet from a lake. The justices that sided with the Sacketts argued the wetland wasn't under federal jurisdiction because a road blocked the wetland from the lake. The justices that opposed the decision actually agreed that the Sacketts' wetland in particular shouldn't have been under the federal jurisdiction, but that Justice Alito, who wrote the majority ruling, strayed too far from the Clean Water Act's text in his decision, significantly narrowing the power of the EPA. The Clean Water Act should cover adjacent wetlands, not just the ones that are physically touching other water bodies.
That's such bullshit. Whatever. And we know the GOP just won oil, no changes. Right, but we have no changes so far. With regards to, like, the climate crisis, we really have not had... We really have not had definitive leadership here. Who has shown the willingness to do what needs to be done. Unfortunately... No, at this point, it is very... I can confidently say that this administration has shown zero willingness to be serious about the climate crisis. I mean, there's nothing more to say.
The opposing judges argued. What is considered under federal jurisdiction is now in limbo until the Biden administration presents another WOTUS definition. Wetlands in states that have historically sided with corporations and landlords will likely suffer significantly from this development. What do you think of the Supreme Court's ruling? Let me know your thoughts below. In Brazil, the Lula administration's environmental regulator rejected a controversial oil drilling project near the mouth of the Amazon River, highlighting environmental concerns. The area is home to understudied mangroves and coral reefs, making it
why is that so hard to do? Why is that so hard to do? A fossil fuel company like asked if they could drill an incredibly important fucking a very important ecosystem area, and then like their government was just like, nah bro, no, that's it, end of story.
Pristine biodiversity hub. The project would have been headed by the state-owned oil company Petrobras, which set aside half of the 5-year $6 billion exploration budget for the project. The company is asking the government to reconsider, and members of Lula's own administration spoke out against the license's rejection, arguing it would have provided needed jobs for the area and more energy resources for the country. The environmental regulator is unlikely to change this decision.
Good.
Since the decision, though, Brazil's conservative Congress passed a bill gutting the oversight powers of the environmental and indigenous ministers. Specifically, the proposal strips the ministries of oversight of the Rural Land Registry and other responsibilities, and it removed the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples' power to
1984 tyranny. Yep. We could have had 100% clean energy economy back in the 50s because battery tech was advanced enough to work in vehicles. Another energy storage was sophisticated enough to handle grid-scale storage, high-voltage DC transmission, geothermal heat pump systems, and liquid fuel thorium reactors are all 80-plus-year-old technology. Yeah, like if we would have started to recognize like the severity of the issue, which we had the data at the time to kind of at least have an idea of like, hey, if we keep going down this path, it's not good. We had the information, we just chose not to do that, and instead we could have worked on this little by little throughout the decades, and where we wouldn't be in this position. But here we are.
Demarcate indigenous lands. This could leave a lot of room open for more agriculture development, which is the main cause of Amazon rainforest deforestation.
Big fossil billionaires after everyone.
Lula held an emergency meeting with his environmental and indigenous ministers in response, saying the game is on. We'll have to keep an eye on this story as it unfolds. Preserving and restoring the Amazon rainforest is essential for maintaining a stable climate.
True. Also, like, damn, Lula da Silva is literally fighting with every like tool available. I don't understand. Like the United States, the US is not serious about solving the climate crisis. This administration is not serious about solving the climate crisis. It's just it is what it is.
How do you think this situation will end? Let me know, especially if you live in Brazil. Finally, Spain and the UK both recently reached historic clean energy landmarks. First, wind energy surpassed gas to become the main source of UK electricity for the first 3 months of 2023, according to the Imperial College London. The majority of that wind energy came from offshore turbines. The National Grid also reported that April saw a record period for solar energy generation. Overall, 42% of the UK's electricity came from renewable energy for the first quarter of 2023, with 33% coming from fossil fuels like gas and coal. Billions of pounds worth of clean energy projects are still stuck behind grid connection delays. Spain solely ran on renewable energy, solar, wind, and hydropower, for 9 hours straight on May 16th. It was a sunny and windy day. And that was your climate recap for the week.
Can you imagine if, like, every country moved in that direction? Costa Rica was able to generate, I think, like, almost all entirety of its power needs off renewables.
If you want more news, check out the source list below for more news stories that I found important.
For a longer period of time, too, I think. Here, let me find it. Look at this. Look at this. This is good, but the current government has people in it who deny climate change even exists and will conveniently forget to mention wind doing well instead of arguing for new fossil fuel from the North Sea. Yep. This is true. This is true. The UK Conservative government. But yeah, this is possible, okay? This is possible. Not some idealistic dream, but it's feasible. For several years, Costa Rica has run entirely on renewables for an average of about 300 days per year. So, an average 10 months out of 12 months, this country has managed to figure it out and run on renewables. Now explain to me why we, the richest country, a country with massive amount of resource, land, not just like money-wise, but we have a ton of land. Explain to me why we can't do that. Hey, Princess Gigi, how's it going? That is really amazing. It is. Yep, just add scaling. Exactly. Explain to me why this isn't possible here. It would cost really wealthy people money. Yep. Yep. And Costa Rica doesn't really think that way or to that degree. Costa Rica has more environmental protections written into its constitution. This is kind of like our thing. But it goes to show what you can do with priorities. Greed, yep. Has to be big oil that prevents us from moving forward. Yes, a few big industries, big oil, big agriculture. The U.S. Annual economy serves the wallets, egos, and wants of the billionaire class. True. Ron DeSantis is a secret envoy of the Mer people. That's why he's advocating for policies that will sink Miami. True. Facts. By the way, if you want to support the Beckosphere channel, use that link, hit the subscribe button, and join the streams Mondays and Fridays. I'm usually there in the background, in the chat, I should say. So you can join her streams as well. Yeah, Aquaman.
And if you found this information useful, please like and share this video so more people can see it. Remember to talk about the climate.
I did both of those things. Look at that. Not only did I like the video, but I shared it with chat. There you go. Alrighty. Yeah, so I see Tim Pool is still trying to tweet through this. Gotcha. So Tim Pool like made a really moronic tweet. So Tim Pool made a really moronic tweet. I know, shocking news. But people started pointing out, and rightfully so, because first of all, like, what are you talking about? I didn't expect Tom Morello to come out as a fascist, because the whole point is if no one stands up, it's not that, like, now that I'm reading it, it's not that just because you are at a table with one Nazi, it means that automatically you are a Nazi. However, if you allow without protest and without resistance, then yeah, there will be 10 Nazis at the table because you are complicit. That's what this is talking about. He's not even saying it's good to punch Nazis. Tim's never going to do that because, like, he's never going to do that because clearly this really got to him because, as people rightfully pointed out, Fu Manchu pointed out, and several other people have pointed out the same picture. Got, you know, with Tim Pool just hanging out with fucking Nazis. Oh, Tom Morello, gotcha. He's not saying anything should be done to the Nazis or anything. Right, and Tim got all worked up about it. Tim got all worked up about it because people rightfully... it must have gotten to him for some reason. Even though he's here with Nazis. Yeah. And I got several of them in these replies, as my comment suggests. I got several of them, which is very fucking telling that the people who come rushing to the defense of this are fucking Nazis. He has chosen his side and now he's living with the consequences. Yep. Nazis butter Tim Pool's bread. They do. They do. I've seen them. They're in my replies in these in this thread. And all of these replies, yeah. It became abundantly clear. So he's continuing to, I guess, post through this. It's funny. Damn. McCarthy says, I love how he's mad at Tom quoting a German, for lack of a better word, proverb. Right, a German proverb. And then saying, oh, because it was a German proverb, that must mean Morello's a Nazi? Or a fascist? Sounds like a lot of copium for someone who's trying to project something. Clearly it irked him enough. Because maybe he connected with it. Based on the pictures. Based on that picture. McCarthy says Biden stopped him from cutting Social Security and Medicare. Yay?
Madam President.
All right. My man Bernard. A win is a win. It doesn't feel like it though. That's the problem. They did drop the student loan bomb though. Yeah, which we will talk about. My man Bernard yesterday came against the bill. Not that it probably will matter, because it's probably going to pass anyways. Why would McCarthy say that? The representative's official position is that the Republicans' official position is that they won't cut Medicare or Social Security. Right, but the thing is, if you're too open about it, that causes political backlash because, yeah. It's McCarthy, it's Republican doublespeak. Because they actually, it's a weird thing to do. Well, like Republicans do want to cut Social Security and do away with it, on paper. Outwardly, like on camera, they and like, you know, on the front, yeah, they definitely do. They say they won't do something until they actually do it. Yeah, they do, but they say are very loudly saying it right now. Yeah. So Bernard Sanders is going to give us his reasons.
Madam President, at a time of massive wealth and income inequality, at a time when the people on top have never had it so good, while the middle class shrinks and millions of working class families live in desperation, I cannot in good conscience vote for a bill that takes vital nutrition assistance away from women, infants, children, and seniors, while refusing to ask billionaires to start paying their fair share of taxes.
Right, like you can't, like there is no reason to negotiate with, there is no reason to begin with to negotiate with these people. Okay? There was no need, there was no necessity to negotiate with these people. Why are we talking about what we can cut when it comes to like very important social programs when we can't even talk about cutting like the military budget? We can't even talk about raising taxes on the uber fucking wealthy. We can't talk about that. There needs to be a massive ad campaign that simply says GOP is trying to defund your grandma. Defund the grandma. Defunding the grandma movement. There you go. We only look to 11% of the budget to find these cuts. We have to look at the entire budget, McCarthy said. When anchor Faulkner asked McCarthy why Republicans didn't see the entire budget during the debt ceiling talks, McCarthy replied, "The president walled off all the others."
So again,
or another way of making the negotiations would be like, look, bro, we're not cutting anything. Either you raise the ceiling, or I invoke the 14th Amendment. This is not a negotiation. Biden's actually negotiating the budget to try to avoid the government shutdown and fall. Sheesh.
not as bad by any means as the bill passed in the House. This bill will cut nutrition programs for kids and the elderly, and yet the billionaires continue to laugh all the way to the bank. They don't have to pay a nickel more in taxes.
Right, which is ridiculous. Which is ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ludicrous that wasn't even a point of conversation. That wasn't even a point in these conversations. We seriously can't say, like, all right, well, we need to shore up money. We should be raising taxes on the uber wealthy.
At a time when over 45 million Americans are drowning in student debt, I cannot in good conscience vote for a bill that eliminates the moratorium on student loan payments.
Right, which we'll talk about here. Oh man, can you imagine a scenario? Can you imagine a different outcome where Bernard Sanders was the one who won the presidency? We wouldn't be having these conversations. I think Bernie would be more aggressive in terms of like using an example would be like, I don't know, the 14th Amendment. I really hope there's a way to cheat the system so all those people get to effing eat. I mean, punishing people because they don't have money to pay these crazy prices for food, it's cruel. Well, yeah, it's the Republican mantra. Cruelty is the point. Surf McGrady, God, that would have been amazing, yep. Raising taxes on the ultra-rich would do nothing. They will just use all the loopholes to keep paying nothing. We need to close the loopholes. Yes, but also we need to raise taxes. It doesn't change that fact. It seems like they are... well, we need to raise taxes on the uber wealthy. Seems like they're preparing to start incarcerating people when things start to get dicey. It feels like we're all being slowly forced into a corner. I mean, yeah. And we need to fund the IRS so it can get the taxes that they're being cheated on. Yes! Which Republicans are calling like armed agents of the state that are coming to, I don't know, kick down your... whatever, dude. But Democrats are already slamming the proposal. Speakers once again making it clear that Republicans cannot be trusted to protect these life-saving programs, and that's why voters will relegate them back to the minority next year. I don't know. I don't know. I think that the Democrats really folded here at a crucial time, like always. Raising taxes will not work as the super wealthy have no income. You have to tax the assets they already have. Thanks for the shout out, of course. It makes me feel like I can't even vote in 24. Scared assholes because their precious money will just get slightly less. Yep. I mean, we can walk and chew gum at the same time, right? We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can say that at a certain level, like, taxes are going to be raised. We can also say that there's going to be new taxes that will target assets and raise funding for the IRS to obtain those taxes and closing loopholes. We can walk and chew gum. Like, we need to have a robust tax system that deals with this. But a progressive tax rate on capital gains would help. Yeah.
That has been a lifeline to millions of working class families during the pandemic. Deficit reduction cannot just be about cutting programs that working families, the children, the sick, the elderly, and the poor depend upon. They are the easy targets. You see, they don't have any lobbyists here. They don't make big campaign contributions. They don't wine and dine members of the House or the Senate. They're an easy target. We can cut programs that working class and low-income people depend upon. But when it comes to demanding that the billionaire class and profitable corporations start paying their fair share of taxes, when it comes to reining in out-of-control military spending and taking on the very powerful military-industrial complex, when it comes to reducing the price of prescription drugs and taking on...
Which, by the way, Republicans are trying to do. Whatever relief the Biden administration attempted to do That's going to be they're trying to take that away. Dems and Biden are infuriating. They need to do better than not Trump. Yeah, of course. They need to produce results. If people do not vote, then what? Ignoring voting only helps Republicans unless the state Supreme Court overturns elections. SCOTUS said no twice to Trump. Yeah, but I'm not. This is not an advocacy for not using voting as a tool. This is more like, hey, we need to demand more of the Democrats. If you're a fucking opposition party, fucking act like one. My position is still the same. My position has not changed. I am more concerned with an all Republican, Congress, Senate, and presidency. I am more concerned about that than I am angry at the Democratic Party. Does that make sense? $31 billionaires are more than the U.S. Treasury has in cash. Yep. I'm voting for Afro Man. I live in a blue state. That's funny.
The pharmaceutical industry, and when it comes to ending billions of dollars in corporate welfare that goes to the fossil fuel industry and other corporate...
Let me try again. What's up? What happened? People don't realize what is on the line if you don't vote in 24, but I'll gladly remind anyone if you want to know. Yeah, like basically, my position is like, yeah, I'm angry. I'm angry at the Democratic Party. I am disappointed and I am tired. My posts aren't being posted due to moderation settings? What? I don't even see it in my auto mod. Because usually it gives me an option to allow posts or not. But it's not even showing up. Twitch. Okay. Yeah, like my position is the same. Voting is a tool, and if you have access to said tool, you should be using it. This is not the time to kind of lose sight of that. The Republicans are a incredible immediate threat that need to be dealt with. Do not underestimate the Republicans. If they win, it's a bad deal. It's a bad deal for everybody involved. It's a bad deal for everybody involved. Voting is a tool. So if it's there, we should use it. That's basically what it is. And at this point, it's more of a we need to pump the brakes. We need to pump the brakes on these people. I agree with you. I live in Massachusetts. Get off deal. My Republican funded is getting blamed by Mass GOP. Who want to overturn Massachusetts as a blue state. Seems like what they're trying to do, they're banking on is wearing us down. Yeah, apathy. Apathy helps. Apathy helps Republicans. Okay, yeah, just whisper me. I don't know what the heck is going on with the auto mod or whatever. It doesn't even give me an option to approve or deny anything. So just send it to me and I'll repost it. 8-month maximum election cycle. Yeah. Because guess what? By the time the 2024 election is done, and we're kind of like about to settle down with the 2024 election, the midterms are coming. After that. Yeah, like why would this be modded? I don't understand. Whatever. Hold on, I'll repost this. Copy. Okay. Let's try it. We need to vote for the in general for the Dem, not because we want to, but for damage control. Right? Like this isn't like a this isn't a verdict. This isn't even a opinion or position on the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is at this point, like in the decision when it comes to voting, is secondary. It's more like we need to stop these fuckers. We need to stop these fuckers in their tracks. That's basically it. That is a lot on the line. Yeah. I'll definitely vote local. Yes, local elections, state elections are incredibly important. That's where all this power is coming from. State and local elections are incredibly important. I'm just a bit older and getting exhausted. Understandable, but if it's a tool that's at our disposal, we should use it and not toss it. But that's my opinion.
Interest, well, that is another story. That's not something we are comfortable in doing. They're too powerful, make too many campaign contributions, have too many lobbyists, easy to go after the weak and the vulnerable. The fact of the matter is, Madam President, that in my judgment, this bill is totally unnecessary. The President of the United States has the authority and the ability to eliminate the debt ceiling today by invoking the 14th Amendment. I look forward to the day when he exercises that authority and puts an end once and for all to the outrageous actions of the extreme right wing to hold our entire economy hostage.
Yeah, like, dude, it is ridiculous that we're even in this position. It is ridiculous that we're even having this conversation. Like, bro, we do not negotiate with terrorists. Just fucking use the 14th Amendment. He should have led with that. He should have led with that. He should have said, listen, bro, there's no cuts. Listen, Jack, there's no cuts on the table. No cuts. Unless you want to talk about cuts to the military spending. Unless you want to talk about raising taxes and closing the necessary loopholes for tax revenue. Unless you want to talk about that, then like we have nothing to talk about. I'm using the 14th Amendment. The ball's on your court, and it'll be your fault if you want to fucking take this train off the rails. That's your fault.
In order to get what they want.
True. All right, so on that note, I think that was a good setup. The Senate votes to overturn Biden's student loan relief program. The Senate voted largely along party lines Thursday on legislation to block President Biden's student debt relief program after the measure cleared a key procedural hurdle in the chamber. The 52-46 vote to pass the legislation comes a day after senators took a similarly close vote to proceed to the measure which would repeal Biden's debt relief program and end the administration's pause on federal student loan repayments. A few moderate senators, conservative, not moderate, conservative senators, Democrats Joe Manchin, John Tester of Montana, and Kyrsten Sinema, voted with Republicans on the final passage of the vote, as well as the motion to take up the measure. Just a simple majority of senators were needed to pass the legislation and send it to Biden's desk, but the White House warned in a statement of administration policy last month that Biden would veto this resolution. This resolution is an unprecedented attempt to undercut our historic economic recovery and would deprive more than 40 million hardworking Americans of much-needed student debt relief. Man, this is such a fucking low blow. This is such a low blow. All because fucking like Republicans couldn't fucking bear that people would get some relief, some crumbs from the government. But here we are. Shout out to YouTube. Thank you so much for that YouTube subscription. Thank you so much. We're at 236, folks. Thank you. Wow. Forgive the student loan debt and free up some consumer buying power. Period. Yeah, it just makes sense. Just joining. I don't know if you covered it already, but if not, can we talk about Minnesota? Also, side topic: Nevada protected abortion. Nice. Based. What happened in Minnesota? Can I get a summary? The House passed the measure last week in a 218 to 203 vote, largely along party lines, with two Democrats, Representative Jared Golden and Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez of Washington, joining Republicans in supporting the measure. The resolution would repeal the administration's program to cancel up to $10,000 in loans for borrowers whose income falls below certain levels and up to $20,000 for Pell Grants. The resolution would also end a pandemic-era pause on loan payments and interest accrual. Jesus Christ. Oh man, it's about to get real for a lot of people. It was the corporatists who don't want the relief. They need a desperate at the end of their workforce who will take any job and at any wage. Yes, but that can only be done up to a certain point, right? Because if the wages don't keep up with the cost of living, then we have nothing to work for, and therefore nothing to lose. It's really hard to summarize fully, but they passed a historic amount of bills last night with only a slight majority lead for Democrats. We're talking about expanding state health care. That's good. Making non-compete clauses illegal. That's very good. Making school food free. I mean, like, yeah, things like that are excellent stuff. Awesome. Hassan has a huge video on it. It's really a big win for us. I really would suggest you look into it. It's the best I've felt about living in this country. Yeah, but unfortunately, like, that's good. But it comes down to local and state elections, right? It comes down to that. That's super important. The biggest test for Biden's student loan relief plan, however, could still be ahead. The Supreme Court, with its conservative majority, is expected to rule on two cases on Biden's relief plan. They don't care and have no foresight of that kind of thing. They only see their own account ledgers. Yep, until the proverbial pitchforks become real. Just saying. Debt ceiling legislation negotiated by Biden and the House Speaker, which passed the House on Wednesday and heads to the Senate, would resume payments on federal student loans that were paused at the start of the pandemic. Payments would resume at the end of August if the debt bill is signed into law, but that legislation would not block Biden's debt forgiveness plan, despite GOP-led attempts to include a provision to do so. Republicans have argued that the Biden administration student debt relief forgiveness program burdens taxpayers and is unfair to those who paid off their loans and borrowed. Yeah, dude, listen, everybody needs to suffer in the exact same manner that I did. Fuck off with that logic. Right now, we need all hands on deck. No strategy is bad, and please donate to bail funds. Yes, I agree, 100%, 100%. Yeah, like this is like saying to like people who have social security, like, oh well, my great grandparent didn't have social security, so why should you? Like, fuck off. These people, I swear. They also protected trans rights and illegal immigration made weed legal, allowed teachers to apply for unemployment when school is not in session, etc. It's all in a slim majority. It does and get better, my friends. It does in some circumstances, and this is definitely W's to be celebrated in Minnesota. Minnesota or Montana? Hold on. Minnesota. Yeah. My child is not having any children, is not planning to repay their student loans. We'll see. I mean, like, when the bills come, it's gonna be like it's gonna hit people like a fucking truck. And the already, like, teetering economy is gonna get so much worse when people now are gonna have to choose between paying rent / or mortgage, or food, or the fucking student loan. Like, what the fuck are these people thinking? It was like something like 30 bills that got passed. Amazing. And people already have to choose that. Let's be real. Right, yeah, 100%. This is going to exacerbate that problem. Yes, you're right. This is just going to exacerbate the issue. Because when those bills start coming again, the supposed economy that these people care about, oh boy. Shit is so bad. But get ready, folks. Yeah, I 100% agree. It's looking a little dicey. Next payment for student loans is going to be everything they haven't paid over the course of the entire pandemic. Guaranteed. Oh yeah, no, this is gonna be this is gonna be a fucking freight train about to slam into the fucking economy. Do you think that people are gonna be out consuming when that shit fucking hits? I had to choose rent and only eat ramen, and could not afford school from ages 18 to 24. I was only able to get into school and it got paid for me, which took a lot of work, and I got lucky. Yeah, which shouldn't be a thing. It should just be. It is fucking, like, embarrassing that people are having to make these decisions. Maybe. Again, I'm just putting it out there. Maybe the system that we're currently operating under, i.e. capitalism, maybe just throwing it out there, maybe it isn't the best system. Maybe we need to consider alternatives. I couldn't afford healthcare either and didn't have proper healthcare from around 2007 to 2016. Now have lots of chronic issues. If we're addressed early enough, it wouldn't have been a problem. I fucking hate this country when I think about it. Yeah, it's pretty freaking screwed. It's a pretty fucked up situation. That you, along with millions of people, are being forced into. Jamtoom, how's it going? We have a global communication system and a global logistics system. We don't need capitalism anymore. Yep. maybe we can start thinking about alternatives. I'm approaching the winter of my life, and to have watched this happen is soul crushing. Yep. That's unfortunate. Not bad. How are you? I'm hanging in there. The GOP did not have a red wave as Fox and OAN shouted on 2020. No reason to make it easy for them, especially the GOP is so loud and arrogant. Yeah, well, it's not about making it easy for them. It's about taking them out of power. It doesn't matter what generation you're in, everyone is affected. Yep. Yep, and the decisions we make or we don't make affect the generations down the line. I don't think we can just switch to something new, but I think we can start by socializing certain sectors and putting more and more guardrails on capitalism until the switch can be fully done. I mean, like, honestly, the more, the less, the less capitalism, I think, is the more moving in the right direction. Do I expect that tomorrow we'll like switch to socialism? No. No. Do I think that tomorrow we'll wake up and like socialism can happen? No. No. But like the climate crisis, the more we work on it now, as we should have years ago, the less painful the switch will be. Also, we need to be able to define socialism better because it means so many different things to so many people. Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of a framing that people like to do when they like to dance around words and like to play semantics, right? Because like socialism at the end of the day, at its basic, I mean like, at its basic core principle, the point of socialism is for workers to own the means of production, right? That's it. Or in terms of like distilling it to the most, like if you distill socialism into one sentence, it's basically the workers owning the means of production. That's it. Now I know it's much more in depth than that, and there's whole books and theories, but the point being is that, you know, a lot of the propaganda is meant to do exactly that. To, oh, well, you know, so many people have so many different, you know, definitions. Like, well, at the end of the day, socialism is the workers owning the means of production. A democratized economy. Socialism is a democratization of the economy. A switch away from capitalism will be violent, will be painful and violent. Capitalists will not go down without it. That's a good point. Are you more of a small government run by the people or big government that nationalizes resources? I think in certain instances, the federal government needs to step in, and in certain instances, it doesn't. An example would be the federal government would be necessary to administer and provide a universal healthcare system. That's an example where you would need a federal government or big government, whatever that means. You need a federal government to do something like a universal healthcare system. It's so hard when almost 50% will vote no matter will vote red no matter who, even if the policies hurt them. Yeah. I was talking to ChatGPT and it refuses to take over the world to save humanity and the planet. I guess there are other ways. Yeah, unfortunately, ChatGPT is not going to take over the world. All right. So to finish off this article, the Biden administration, on the other hand, has argued in a statement that the cost of higher education has become a lifelong burden on low and middle-income Americans, and therefore debt relief would provide borrowers with breathing room after the pandemic and accompanying economic crisis have passed. Yeah. Who would have thought the plagiarism bot won't save us? True. That's what I'm gonna name ChatGPT. Listen, can I get ChatGPT to start writing podcast episodes for me? Because, like, that would be nice. It is a good name. You do realize the human brain works the same way. It takes input and remixes it to output something, quote, new. Yeah, but... As if ChatGPT isn't already programmed to stand for capitalism. Well, ChatGPT is programmed by the people who made it, right? It's also very defensive when I talk about its ability to super evolve and or emotions. I just love teasing the crap out of it. All right, folks, switching gears. Domestic terrorism. Yep. Failed Republican candidate charged with shootings at lawmaker's home. A failed Republican candidate was indicted on federal charges, including election interference in connection with a series of drive-by shootings at home of the homes of state and local lawmakers in Albuquerque, according to a grand jury indictment. An indictment filed in U.S. District Court in Albuquerque charges Solomon Peña and two alleged accomplices with additional conspiracy and weapons-related charges in connection with the shootings in December and January on the homes of four Democrats, including the current state House Speaker. The attacks came amid a surge of threats and acts of intimidation against election workers and public officials after Trump and his allies spread false claims about the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. I mean, like, stochastic terrorism turns into real-life terrorism because of Donald Trump. The U.S. Attorney Alexander Ubalez highlighted that the shootings targeted the homes of two county commissioners shortly after certification of the 2022 election. Peña targeted several of these public officials because in their official capacity, they certified the election, which he lost. In America, voters pick their leader, and would-be leaders don't get to pick the one which voters they heed, which rules apply to them, or which laws to follow. No one was injured in the shootings, but in one case, bullets passed through the bedroom of the state senator's 10-year-old daughter. The indictment outlines smartphone communications, including text messages by Peña, in the days following the November 8 election that pinpoints the location of officials' homes, alleged election rigging, and confide to a political ally about plans to press the attack. Text message showed the 40-year-old candidate bristling with outrage as Bernalillo County Commissions certified the results of the midterm election and his overwhelming defeat for a seat in the state house. Federal authorities said Peña hired the others to conduct the shootings, but carried out at least one himself. Hours before first shooting on December 4th, Peña texted a Republican ally who also lost the bid for state representative to say, "We have to act. I'm continuing my study of election rigging. The enemy will eventually break." Amid the shootings, Peña texted one of several unnamed conspirators to say, "It is our duty as statesmen and patriots to stop the oligarchs from taking over our country." Jesus. Elizabeth Hahn, state defense attorney, said her client maintains his innocence. Peña has been held without bail since January arrest. State charges will be dismissed in deference to the federal indictment as Peña is transferred to federal custody. Federal charges were also filed against 22-year-old Jose Trujillo and 41-year-old Demetrio Trujillo on allegations that they assisted Peña in obtaining vehicles on firearms and that they pulled the trigger themselves to fire bullets into the homes of victims. This is domestic terrorism. Yeah, but to mimic that, with computer hardware is not the same. These people are right cracked in the head. That sounds like a rhetoric from a brainwashed individual, because it is. Trump and his supporters only know physical violence and threats because they are ignorant. No, well, yes, but also they're doing it on purpose. DeSantis and his crews actually terrify me. He's intelligent, sadistic, and he wants to be a dictator in Florida. Yeah. His followers are willfully ignorant and violent, but they have a dictator with a brain. DeSantis is scary. DeSantis is definitely scary. He's scarier than Trump, that's for sure. DeSantis definitely scares me more than Trump in terms of that aspect. DeSantis is not getting anywhere this election. However, 2028, depending on how badly this midterm, primary is, depending on how bad this primary is, he may he may have a stronger position in 2028. So DeSantis is a threat for the next election. We'll see, because if Trump just kind of destroys his political career, then maybe he's not gonna get any further. We'll see. DeSantis earns from his errors. Maybe we'll see what happens in 2028. Depending on how bad this primary is. My message got restricted? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Surfer McGritty was also having issues. I don't know what the parameters are, why I can't or why I can't see if a message is being held for by Automod. I don't know. DeSantis' primary skill is getting online media coverage. He's awful, but he doesn't scare me any more than the others. No, I can't see the message. That's the thing. I can't, because like normally Automod would tell you if I can approve it or not. We have to have better than Biden, or I'm not voting. The primary skill, DeSantis' primary skill is getting online media coverage. He's awful, but he doesn't scare me any more than the others. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think, I think he scares me more than Trump, I would say. Based on his ability to, in terms of who's running in the primary, who has better knowledge and ability to navigate the political levers to get more horrific shit done. I think DeSantis definitely scares me a little bit more. DeSantis kind of screwed himself a bit. He made enemies with corporations, even his own party, telling him to back off the whole Disney thing. Since it's such a major part of their economy, is also acting on things. You're supposed to say that you're against immigration and not punish corpos for taking advantage of migrants. These people don't care. These people don't care. You could literally say, like, in the same breath, like, completely contradictory statements, and, like, Republican voters won't care. I think Godwin's on this, but 1930s Hitler was unpopular and ended up in prison. Even maybe it just isn't time for DeSantis' particular brand of fascism yet. I'm beginning to think DeSantis is unable to form a single sentence without the word woke in it. True. Oh, that's true. Damn, that's true. Trump is so bigoted, it cripples what functionality and intelligence he does have, which is limited. DeSantis can actually think around that. He's much more dangerous. And they do on camera, yep. And the people who don't care, but the donors and sponsors, which is a major part of electing presidents and getting things passed. Well, if he keeps going after corporations, then yeah, I think that's what the point Anokane was saying. An OK Life was saying. It's going to be real scary this month. I don't think I might celebrate it outside, but maybe I can gather some courage. That's sad that's sad that that's a sentiment that I've seen expressed in a few places. That's messed up and sad, and a verdict of where we are, what the stakes are here. Damn. I'm queer and have reasons to fear the Satan. True. That's messed up that we're even in this position, Abond. Alright, so we're going to finish this this story, and we got one more article. Jose Trujillo was arrested in January on an outstanding warrant in a car with more than 800 fentanyl pills and 2 firearms. Officers traced at least one gun to bullet casings found the same day at one of the shootings. Authorities said Demetrio Trujillo was arrested on Wednesday. They declined to comment on whether unnamed accomplices would be charged. John Anderson, an attorney for Jose Trujillo, declined to comment. Charges against the three defendants will include the use of an automatic weapon. The shootings began on December 4th when 8 rounds were fired at the home of Bernalillo County Commissioner Adrian Barboa. Days later, the home of a state representative, Javier Martinez, was targeted on 11th December. More than a dozen rounds were fired at the home of Bernalillo County Commissioner Debbie O'Malley. Martinez became the Democratic State House Speaker in January. The final shooting, targeting the home of a state senator, Linda Lopez, unfolded in the midnight hour of January 3rd. Police said more than a dozen shots were fired, including 3 Lopez passed the bedroom of her sleeping daughter. Maggie Oliver said the New Mexico State Secretary of State she was pleased to find that the federal government pursuing this case with the seriousness that it deserves. New Mexico state lawmakers this year enacted legislation that provides felony sanctions for intimidation of election regulators and allows some public officials and political candidates to keep their addresses off government websites. Recent assaults on politicians or their households include a camera attack on the House Speaker, former House Speaker Pelosi, in October, and San Francisco in July 2022. A man clutching a pointed weapon assaulted a Republican candidate for New York Governor Lee Zeldin, a congressman at the time, on stage at an event. When I hit the range, I'm rocking the pride flag and trans flag on my 9 and 5.56 so they know what I'm protecting. Ironically, Republicans and conservatives have called for trans people to not be able to have guns, which is interesting. How, like, at the drop of a fucking hat, their beloved Second Amendment goes right out the window, huh? Anywho. I love this emote. Benny's phenomenal, by the way. Phenomenal emote. I either talk my way out or run. Ideally, that's the first thing that we should do, right? They tried to freaking secretly pass a law to give all LGBTQ people life sentences. What? Not surprising, but who? Was this a Florida thing? Was this a Florida law? I love Benny. Benny's awesome. Special counsel has obtained a tape of Trump discussing a classified document he kept after leaving office. I believe we had a short discussion on this yesterday, but unfortunately, because of all the tech issues, I didn't have all the ability to get articles and whatnot, but we got something here. Special counsel Jack Smith's office has obtained a recording of former President Trump discussing a classified planning document that he had taken from his time at the White House, a source directly familiar with the matter told NBC News. The planning document Trump kept was related to Iran, the source said, and the former president acknowledged on the tape that it was classified. The recording was made in July of 2021 during a meeting at Trump's golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey, that included people who were helping former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows write his memoir. The source said the tape was played during testimony to provide to the grand jury that has been investigating Trump's handling of classified documents. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hey Mayhem Hippie, how's it going? Jim Stinkin' Jordan was one of the ones that stopped it passing. Like, how are we saved by Jim Pedo Protector Jordan? True. Wait, this was like on a federal level? Jesus. Mayhem Hippie with a tier 1 sub for 11 months. Woohoo! You got one more month and you get a black badge. How's that? Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. That is wild, Jamtoom. Wild. Yeah, you get the fancy badge. The final badge. The classic black and white. The evidence appears to undercut Trump's claim that he declassified all government documents that came into his possession after he left the White House, and it would be an important in any effort by prosecutor to prove that Trump knew that he possessed classified documents. Yeah, that one. There we go, flexing. The final form badge, exactly. They try to put absurd stuff into bills all the time. I remember in the Bush years, they tried to give personhood and citizenship to fetuses, which would have made abortion murder. Jesus. Wow. Absolutely ludicrous. Globus the Elder rating with a party of 13. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Folks, I definitely recommend Read and Rap. Hey, how's it going? I recommend to hang tight. As we do the final article, so that we can ride the raid wave. If you guys haven't seen me before, I'm a Difficult Truth. I do the news, I do the politics, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for bringing a wonderful community here. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you hit the follow button. It really does help us out. I appreciate it. That is absurd. Goku787, thank you. Yeah, and you get all those cool emotes. Look at that. News that federal officials had obtained the audio recording was first reported by CNN. NBC News has not heard the recording. The special counsel's investigation into Trump, which focuses on his alleged mishandling of more than 100 classified documents that were discovered at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida last year, appeared to be approaching an end. Trump has denied any wrongdoing, rebuffing allegations that he mishandled classified documents. He claimed last year that he can declassify documents by, quote, thinking about it. I'm just glad to be here as a place on Twitch with reasonable community with good dialogue. Appreciate it. FBI agents said in a redacted affidavit last year that they found 184 unique documents that had classified markings in the 15 boxes that Trump returned to the National Archives in January. That affidavit, right, he's a wizard. You can just magically do stuff by thinking about it. Look at that. The affidavit stated that 25 documents were marked top secret, 67 documents were marked as confidential, and 92 were marked as secret. That then led to the August 8th search of Mar-a-Lago by FBI agents who recovered a trove of top secret and other classified documents, court documents unsealed by a federal judge said. During this search, which Trump characterized as a raid, federal Federal agents removed 11 additional sets of classified documents, including some that were labeled secret and top secret. Attorney General Merrick Garland appointed Smith as special counsel in November, saying that the move was in the public's interest based on the recent developments, including Trump's announcement that he is a candidate for president in the next election, and that the current president's intention to be a candidate in the next election. Yeah, so basically, this new development that we touched on a little bit yesterday. Basically, Trump was caught in a recording that acknowledged the fact that he knew that the documents that were in his possession were classified. He never declassified these documents. No matter what he says, you can't do it by thinking about it. That's not the way it works. At all. That's not the way it works at all. Princess Gigi, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, the classification by telepathy. So, in other words, surprise, surprise, he lied. Again. I know it's shocking. Big, it's not illegal when the president does it energy. True. There's other evidence to suggest that not only did he knew that it was wrong, or that not only did he knew that it was classified documentation, but that he was also aware of the process to do so. So the dude's just like straight up lying. But I mean, is that really like a surprise? I don't know. You finally caught me a payday. Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. On a payday, thank you so much. They're also auditing the golf tournament records for money laundering. Oh man, yeah. I mean, wow. Surprise, surprise. A dude who's a known con man, and has had a career of making dubious business dealings. Wow, yet is now under investigation for money laundering as well. It's not a lie, it's an alternative fact. That's right, alternative facts. Gotcha, true. Rarely does Trump tell the truth. Yep. Which is, oh man, the biggest irony that is that his website is called Truth Social. Anyways, we'll see if, as rumors have stated, we'll see if there is any indictment with this as well. Not to mention the other 34 felony charges that he's facing. We'll see. We'll see if any other accountability happens. A-Bond, the 250 biddies. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wow, you guys are on fire today. Guilfoyle and Palin are shocked DeSantis would run against Trump. Oh, man. I see that there's a lot of exchanges between Trump and DeSantis loyalists. Sharpie Diesel with the 500 biddies. Thank you so much. And which just happened to kick off a hype train. Jeez. Well, I guess you know what that means. Accountability is only for greedy college students that want handouts to pay their gender study college degree. True.
The company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderous scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood.
Thank you for the
over
follow. I
her head.
appreciate it. Alio with another
That
10 biddies. Thank
woman
you.
is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama
Sharpie
just
Diesel
stink.
with a 5
Obama
community
and Hillary
gifted subs.
both
Thank you so
smell like
much.
sulfur.
Whoa. What the heck happened?
Literal vampire pot
All right, there we go.
hobbling round, coming after us.
Goku
Spirit gets close
with
to
60
that
biddies.
evil
Thank you so
and I
much. I
feel
appreciate it.
That's
so weird.
We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
That's the best part. That's literally the best part. Thank you guys so much. Keep the hype train going. 5 biddies, 60 biddies, and 5 community subs, gifted subs. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We continue.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap. Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs.
I need to make a Alex command.
Won't you fight for your life? Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like a frogs. Gay. Friggin' frogs. Quack, 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 quack. Frogs. Friggin' frog crap. Won't you fight the frogs? It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Frogs. Place point.
This is a good one. $27 has one that reads out. I was watching Fox News as I worked out the other morning. It's a challenge is to time it with Alex saying it. Gotcha. That's a good one.
I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like size it up? I'm gonna haul him up back chain. Chop his ass up, size it up. I'm gonna haul him up back chain. Chop, 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 chop. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, "Oh, I killed a cow out back, baby." You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them, and skin them, and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. And that's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna get my hands around your throat.
You see this little
Yeah. Whew. Perfect timing too. I've never heard this. This is amazing. Yeah, this is the hype train tradition. We'll go on an we'll go on an Alex Jones remix bender. Wasn't there an actual chemical that was changing the frogs, the genders of frogs? I think so. You should check out Comrade Tucker clip where he almost understands class consciousness. Who, Tucker Carlson? He knows exactly what he's doing. Someone like Tucker Carlson knows exactly what they're doing. Frogs can change their own gender. Yes, but I think there was like some chemical issue with agriculture. There was some like agriculture runoff that was messing around with the species of frogs. But that's about the extent of the truth there. There was actually like there's a truth to what John Jones was saying about the frogs. Yeah, I think it had to do with some kind of agriculture runoff that was messing with something like, but yeah, that's about that's about the extent of it. Michael Hasser, how's it going? Thank you guys so much for the massive support with that hype train. Thank you. Alio with the 5 biddies and another 5 biddies. Goku with the 60 biddies. Sharpie Diesel with 5 gifted subs. Alio 10 biddies. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. 11 biddies. And thank you to Sharpie Diesel for 500. Abon for 250. Princess Chi-Chi with the subscription. That kicked everything off. Thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate it. Whew. So we have a ukulele rift. We'll see how we can make that happen. Where is it? Yellow King, did I say thank you? 2 hours ago with the tier 1 subscription for 30 months. Shoot. Did I say thank you? I'm not sure. I think I might have said something. I can't remember. Echo Restless Dragon, how's it going? Yeah, we're still on for now. I think we're going to make sure we end on a high note after that one. Let me see if we can get the ukulele and if we can make something with it. Yeah? And OK Life with 9 biddies. Thanks for the gifted sub. Yeah, Sharpie Diesel dropped a $5. Do you have a kick to give you a better sub split? No. Nah. Twitch is taken. Twitch demands that it take half of my earnings. I believe. I think that you can maybe negotiate like better sub splits after a certain. If you become partner, I think you can. If you become partner and after becoming partner, you have certain viewership. I don't know. I don't know. Twitch is weird. Oh, Kick. I'm sorry. Kick is another streaming site. I don't know what the split is. They just made most partners 50-50. Yep. YouTube definitely gives more, supposedly more revenue split. Partner, here we come. Yeah, we do, what is it to partner? 70, 75 viewers? I don't know the partner requirements. Twitch splits used to be better for bigger streamers, but they nerfed that all that year. Yeah, I think that's what Simulacra was saying. Everyone's 50-50 now. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Well, Twitch is Twitch. There's some streamers I watch that had been getting 70 for years and then they just got a pay cut. That's messed up. That's just messed up. Better to stay affiliate at this point. Yeah, I don't know. It just depends. I mean, like, if I make it to partner numbers, we'll move differently at that point, I guess. When you get big, you can join Curiosity Stream. Yeah, Curiosity Stream. Although I think that's more for like academics, right? People who are more academic in terms of content. They have other partners for other things. Gotcha. Twitch claims the instant and video quality is very expensive, so less money for channels. I don't buy that. That's not an excuse. I don't know if I buy that. Let me bust out the ukulele. Hopefully it's in tune. We'll go from there. Twitch got a new CEO who's who's a piece of shit. Oof. Yikes. Let me get that ukulele and see what we can make, huh? BRB. Kind of like what they did to YouTube. Twitch wants more, and F the peasants if they don't like it. There's always more building audiences. Yeah. and thought of protesting that. It seems pretty wrong. It is messed up. But like anytime. Oh, sorry guys, hold on. Anytime, like anytime people have like talked about making like a collective like action, like the big names that end up being important, to making something like that successful, they're just like never down to like, you know, be in solidarity and close ranks, to demand anything from Twitch. So that's kind of why that never trying to remember how to even play this thing. Is this Jonathan Ross, welcome. Somebody redeemed make up something on the ukulele, so here we are. Trying to make something up. Okay. So we have what, this? How can I bar the... Oh god. Yeah, I'm so used to playing guitar, it's... Oh, I could just bar it. Okay. Maybe I should start with the C first. No, I need something else. Oh, okay. Dang it. We're getting close, okay? I'm just not used to playing this, I feel like I'm so close to something. Ah, man. Well, I think that might work. This guy's practicing art. Get back to the assembly line. I was trying to make my own ASMR music last night with different beats. Took me 2 hours for it to sound good. Yeah, it's a thing, especially that I'm trying to encourage myself to play ukulele and mandolin because I don't play these things. I'm normally a guitar player, so in order for me to force myself to learn, I've basically made it so that people can request that. There's the last chord is what's really bugging me. Haha. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. That's much more pleasing, I think. So let's try that again. Yeah, there we go. Now, since we figured out one piece of it, which we know is like this. Ah. Okay, well, I mean, it's kind of close. It's kind of close. It's getting there. Oh, shoot, I think my headphones are messing up. Oh, well. So, the second part should go like this. Yeah, there you go. See? It kind of works. I know I'm late to the party, but here's a meme video if we have time. Alrighty.
Donald Trump Jr. on his Triggered
On his Triggered podcast. All right. We'll do this one, and then I think that's it.
podcast this week, or web show. I don't really know what it is. It seems more like a web show than a podcast. But anyway, he tried to take some shots at Ron DeSantis after DeSantis's botched presidential launch on Twitter Spaces this week. But unfortunately for Don Jr., he is also, much like DeSantis, prone to gaffes. So instead of attacking Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump Jr. accidentally attacked his own father by saying his name instead of Ron DeSantis. Here's what Jr. said on his web show this week. Once you actually put out the facts, I think a different image is going to emerge. Trump has the charisma of a mortician and the energy that makes Jeb Bush look like an Olympian.
Yay.
You said Trump. You didn't say DeSantis. And here's the funny part. In the video, you can find
Someone
the
needs
link
a
in the description
detox.
of the
Yeah,
video.
it was a rare brevity of a Freudian slip, one could say.
In that video, he pauses for a second like, uh-oh, I just said Trump. But that was a good one-liner and I don't have to redo it. So then he just keeps on talking. Like, he doesn't go back and correct himself, even though he clearly understood at that point, like, oh, God, I said Trump, not DeSantis. Well, anyway, blah, 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 blah. Listen, man, I do this every day. I do this 11 times a day. You misspeak sometimes. You get tongue-tied. You know, your throat gets dry. Sometimes you have throat noises, whatever comes up when you're doing videos. I know you're new to it, so I'm just trying to give you some pointers here. But I've been doing this for damn near 20 years now. So trust me. Like, sometimes you screw up, you slip up, you make the little Freudian slips. But what you do, even if you had a good zinger after him, you got to come back and correct it. Because let's be honest, he's got the charisma of a mortician and the energy that makes Jeb Bush look like an Olympian. It's not a bad line. I'll give it to you. It's not a bad line. But you do kind of ruin it when you say the wrong name. So you got to go back and correct it so that people like me don't have to sit there and say what a friggin' moron you are. But as I said, Junior then regathered himself.
There you go.
He came out and he's called out DeSantis for his voice, which he said is a nasal and effeminate voice, and said it was that bad.
Jesus.
Nasal and effeminate. Effeminate. So, what does that have to do with it? Are you trying to somehow suggest that... I don't even know. I don't even want to make assumptions about what it is you're trying to say that he has an effeminate voice. Because that's just downright stupid. It's actually not even effeminate. It is nasally, I give you that. But, I mean, come on. Is this really the best you got? I mean, there are so many other things to attack Ron DeSantis for. Your father's super PACs that are supporting him have done a much better job attacking DeSantis. You got to come with a little bit more than, I don't like the sound of his voice. Oh, he's got the charisma of a mortician, or my dad does. I don't know because I don't like any of them. Like, you could attack him for his policies. You could attack him for not being able to draw a crowd. You could attack him for the recent video that came out this week of him wiping his snot on his own supporters. There are so many great and wonderful things to attack Ron DeSantis for, but the reason Junior and the rest of the Trump team can't go after DeSantis for all those things is because they actually support them. And that's one of the reasons this Republican primary is going to be so friggin' stupid.
Yeah, it's a mudslinging operation at this point. And Trump said has a video promising he'll help with rehab if elected. I do not believe him at all. Oh yeah, no, he's not going to do anything about that. He's not.
We are going to see Republicans trying to attack one another, but they're not going to have any substance to attack one another because substantively, they're all the same. They all want the same horrible things for the country. We want tax cuts for the wealthy. We want to legislate the LGBTQ community out of existence. We want to ban books. We want to ban critical race theory. We want to punish teachers. We want to do whatever the hell we want. We want to control women's bodies. You all agree on the same stupid things. So you can't attack each other on those stupid things. And
Yeah, like this again. All of this is all of this comes down from Republicans not acknowledging bodily autonomy, right? They want to control what you can and cannot do with your body. They want to control what bathrooms you use. They want to control what you read. They want to control what you can't read. I mean, like, they don't respect bodily autonomy. Period.
And that's the point of this video from Trump Jr. That's why it matters. Not that he misspoke and accidentally attacked his dad. That's just the funny part. The stupid part is that they can't attack one another over policy because they all agree on the same things. So buckle up, folks. This primary season is about to get a hell of a lot dumber. Hey, everybody.
Ha! Oh, man. All right, folks. Yeah, hopefully the infighting is enough to cause serious damage in the general election. We'll see. That's the only silver lining about this whole thing. All right, folks, I have to get going. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the biddies, the hype train, the subs, the gifted subs. Jeez, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys are what makes this channel grow. If you guys are enjoying the content and you want to support the channel, hit the follow button. If you want to go even further beyond and you can't support monetarily, head on over to the YouTube channel, as 236 of you have already done, and hit the big red subscribe button. It really does help us out. Spread the word far and wide. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Globus, for bringing your wonderful community over. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the new follows as well. Thank you, Yellow King. Thank you, Sharpie Diesel. Thank you, Alio. NOK Life. Thank you, A-Bond, for the biddies as well. I think I got everybody. Princess Chi-Chi for the subscription. Mayhem Hippie for the subscription. I think I got everybody. I appreciate the support. You guys are what makes this channel grow. I will go eat dinner now. Thank you guys. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. See ya. Thank you, Michael Hassler, for keeping the chat chill. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, folks, hang tight. We are heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you.